What's up, YouTube? As always, this is Ryutashi from the one only place of Okinawa, Japan, here to bring you a real world topic with my guest, which is also my roommate. First name Andrew, last name Moore, and we're going to talk about pretty much the Marine Corps and being overseas. So first of all, just let's everyone welcome Moore.
Hi, it's me.
It's Moore.
It's me.
And we have a few topics to talk about, and we'll branch off of that. So the first one would be pretty much why we chose overseas.
I chose overseas based off a couple decisions. There were a couple things that happened to me with my family, so I just decided maybe one of the reasons why I chose the Marine Corps was to see the world. I know if you chose Army, there's a lot of bases back in the States, so granted you'll still go overseas, but I mean I want to get stationed over here, so I chose overseas, and I thought maybe I'd have a 50-50 chance maybe of it being Hawaii. Yeah, no, that's not at all. That didn't happen. Yeah, I actually think it's West Coast that it can be that goes into Hawaii. So, yeah, overseas you're 100% guaranteed to go to Okinawa. So, hopefully you like the humidity and 100-degree weather consistently.
Humidity's horrible, but a lot of people leave Okinawa in better shape.
Yeah, a lot of people leave Okinawa in pretty good shape. I know I've seen a different shape in myself, so I've been working out quite a bit, and it's better than when I came. So, yeah, so definitely don't get it twisted. If you choose overseas, you will be going to Okinawa. So, let's talk about a couple different things about Okinawa that are different than if you were to go to California. And obviously, you're on an island.
Yeah,
first and foremost.
That's honestly, even though it's small, there's a big difference being stationed in Okinawa versus East Coast or West Coast. Is when you're on East Coast or West Coast, you're still in the United States, you're still attached to the United States. Whereas when you're in Okinawa, you're literally on an island. It's a big island, but it's a small island, and you're not attached to Japan.
66
so it's
miles.
Different.
Yeah, up 66 miles from north to south. There's it is different. There's, you're in a completely different culture. No, you go out on town, everyone speaks Japanese. Granted, very few do speak English. You'll run into that every now and then, where tourist attractions are and stuff like that. But if you were to just go out on town, just to skate, or if you like to ride bikes or whatever, you would see a lot of the local nationals, and they would some businesses, they don't want you to come in because they don't know much about you. There's a trust barrier. But it's different. It varies between every person you'll run into. But yeah, it's a lot of fun things to do out here.
Definitely, especially
the
water around. Obviously, like I said, we're on an island, so if you're snorkeling or pretty much any type of water activity is just pretty much the best spot that you can be stationed in the Marine Corps.
Definitely.
And just to enjoy the water and the sea life. That's for sure.
The certifications, the scuba certs out here, $250.
Yeah.
$250, and you can take it for the rest of your life. And if you go to Cali, the certs to get them done over there to be scuba certified are for upwards of $500, if I'm not mistaken, maybe $600.
Yeah,
then on top of that, tanks and all the gear. It's much more inexpensive to be done out here. The currency is pretty different. So for $10, it's
1,000 yen.
It's 1,000 yen, so it's a little different. You got to get used to that. But
and just to branch off the whole different culture, just like he said, the cheapest dollar or physical amount is a $10, which is 1,000 yen. So that's a little tricky there. But even just branching off of that, food is different. I definitely recommend you try it, whether you like fish or you don't like fish or you like whatever.
You'll like fish when you leave here.
You're in a totally different country, and a lot of people don't take that to their advantage. But you know what? Even as good or bad or whatever your experience in the Marine Corps is, you were lucky or unlucky enough to get stationed in Japan, so you might as well go out and try it. And
make it the best.
The food here is honestly it's amazing. I really haven't had too much food of the Japanese culture that I didn't like.
Yeah, and you know what? There's everywhere in the States you can get fish. You can get fish at Red Lobster, but they can only make it a certain way. If you come out here, pretty much most of what they eat is fish. So they make it so many different ways. They make it, the sushi out here, I didn't like sushi. I was before I came out here, hell no, I was never going to try sushi. But the way they make it out here, it's you actually look at it and it's wow, that might be something I might want to get into. Again, with the food, you can take it anywhere. So
Yeah.
They have sharks, eels, everything. You can fish for your own food. That's something that's involved with scuba diving. You're not allowed to do it, but you can go spearfishing. You can't mix the two, scuba diving and spearfishing, but you can go spearfishing, catch your own fish. That way you have dinner for that day. Save yourself tons of money. Shoot, everything's real close. Everything's super close. There's so many things. You know, the island does have its down parts, but there are a lot of upsides. There's this place called the Forest Adventure Park. That's pretty free. That's pretty awesome. It's just a bunch of zip lining. You know, you go back and forth. It's just from mountain range to mountain range. And
zip lining's fun.
Zip line's fun. There's a lot of cliffs. I mean, you know, you're not supposed to jump off the cliffs. Don't do it, kids. But say if you get yourself in that situation, there are a bunch of cliffs to jump off of. Don't do it, of course. We don't do that stuff. And then
and just the scenery being here is just amazing. I mean, I'm from Michigan, so I don't really see too much. I'm from Detroit, so I see nothing but, you know, buildings and whatnot. So being here is a lot different. Seeing, you know, literally mountains everywhere you go, and you see the beautiful oceans everywhere. I mean, it's definitely
everywhere.
A beautiful, natural place. I mean, some people, I think it's kind of lame, but some people call this like the poor man's Hawaii or the Japanese Hawaii, and it's pretty much the truth. Like I said, it's just the nature here is just absolutely beautiful. It's slim to none you find a place like this.
Yeah, I mean, you go off base and you're right next to the ocean. Anywhere you go, the island's slimmest point is like 0.6 miles from what is it, west to east?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, west to east. So I mean, the island's relatively small. Like I said, 66 miles from north to south. It's beautiful. You can get into everything out here. It's great, you know. And if you want to intermix with culture, they have there's places where you can go to, like different castles. There's a place called Shuri Castle. It's pretty awesome. You know, and then like I said with the food, you know, you drive 5 minutes from Shuri Castle and you got yourself this place called Coco's, and the curry out here. I don't know if you guys ever tried curry, but curry out here is phenomenal. It's not just Japanese out here. They have different cultures. There's a lot of Indian culture out here, and they really bring all the different things to the.
Yeah, and that's what's nice about like we mentioned earlier about being on Okinawa is that it is a small island, so it's easier to get around. Now it's hard to get around, but it's easy to get around because to go into the next topic of the literacy policy, it's kind of hard. There's a lot of rules that it's not necessarily mentioned when you get stationed there until you actually get here. But honestly, the rules is not that bad. It's what you make of it. So I don't know. It really is what you make of it. It's like it's hard to get cars out here, but the Marine Corps does provide a bus. It runs different schedules to different places, which it takes time, but like I said, you honestly just make the most of it. It's still free, and you still get from point A to point B ultimately.
Right, and it takes you to anywhere that actually means anything on the island. There's a lot of places on the island that are quite pointless. There's no trails or anything, so the Green Line is what it's called. It takes you from base to base, and it's completely free. And then there's honchos. We call them honchos out here. Taxis. There's taxis you can take everywhere. They cost, but you're getting somewhere, versus being on foot. And speaking of being on foot, there's a lot of places where you can hike. There's a lot of places where you can longboard. For the most part, you won't really be going off base without another person, and that's not because we're forced to, but it's because, well, for the most part, we are pretty forced to. But but I mean, you'd rather have someone with you, honestly, and that's weird coming from me because I'm very independent. But it's nice having someone else to, especially I'm a longboarder, so it's nice having someone else to longboard with and see the island with, in case something happens, you just have that extra person there. So
yeah, and that's another good thing. Like I said, even though you are forced to have a buddy when you leave base, it's also just because you're in another country, it's not as bad as if you're in the States. I mean, honestly, if you're in Cali and you're like, hey, you got a Liberty buddy to go off base, it'd be like, what the heck? But being here in another country, I want to say you feel a little safer because I mean you're both in a new country, new language that you don't know. So at least you have someone with you that if worse comes to worse, something did happen, you have someone with you, someone to help you out. So ultimately, like I said, there are rules and there are restrictions, but it's honestly not as bad as people make it out to be. Right. I mean, I really don't have any problems being. I love being here. It's the battalion that you're with dictates, I guess, to a degree how much you like being here. Well, ultimately, as far as restrictions that the Marine Corps itself set, it's really not too bad here. I really enjoy it. If it wasn't for a certain battalion that I was in, I probably would extend here.
Right.
But Okinawa itself is a very beautiful place, and I forgot to mention this earlier. But with Special Lib here is a lot different than back in the States. Because back in the States, you have, no matter where you go, it's still gonna be United States. But here, just because Okinawa is located where it's at, you can take Special Lib practically halfway across the road.
Right.
You can literally take Special Lib, which, in case you don't know, it's just granted like 3 to 4 days, depending on what type of holiday, in which you can go with someone. You don't have to be back on base.
Right.
So you can take Special Lib literally from Okinawa to Thailand. Like
you go to Thailand, Australia,
you go to Korea there, Australia,
everywhere.
Philippines. I mean, you pretty much, if it's Asia, you can go to Special Lib, and we have Special Lib literally every month. There's some holiday.
Right, something going on.
So.
Yeah, that's one thing about being out here too. Is that's one upside about our battalion. We just got a new command, but it's one upside about our battalion. We get special liberty granted to us pretty easily. Our battalion's been staying on the right track with not being disciplined or not, but. We can take special liberty. We can go to Australia, and a lot of people think, wow, that must cost a lot of money. The plane tickets are relatively cheap. You have to remember, let's put this in states terms. If you were to put us in Northern California, we are only about halfway across the state from Australia. And even if you look on the map, it's similar. So you get that idea in your head. So. We're pretty close to everything, across the 100, 200 something. I don't know the exact measurement, but close is South Korea. A lot of people take special lib and go to South Korea. It's close to North Korea, so you get a little worried maybe, but it's really not that bad. It's beautiful over there. Everything costs. Like that's where you get into like the really inexpensive items that are the actual quality items. So if you want to shop and get some things that are gonna last you, South Korea is good.
And like you said, I definitely recommend taking Special Lib. And even though we're in Japan, we're in Okinawa, so it's still separate from mainland.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely recommend you at least go to mainland Japan at least once while you're here, because it's very, very different. It's weird because it's the same country, but it's like from Michigan to Kentucky, two different states. And that's how it is here. It's very different. I kind of like it better in mainland, but I have friends in mainland, so I take Special Lib there from time to time. But it's definitely better, and it's different. Like even just traveling, like there's train tracks or train rails everywhere, so you can easily go from point A to B versus a bus. And it's different because I'm from Michigan, so I've never rode on a train. So when I came here and I took Special Lib up there, that was literally my first time on a train, and it was nice. It's different, but you definitely have to make use of the surrounding areas, and don't stay in your room, and honestly, don't stay in the country. At least once, just go outside and go somewhere.
You get paid. The military, regardless of what branch you're in, you don't get a lot of money, but they do give you enough money to enjoy yourself and at least be semi-comfortable. So I mean, there's no reason to not go out and enjoy yourself. So I mean that's enough for me. I mean, if you have any questions, leave a question in the link and.
Yep, so just like you said, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's the first time I've done a railroad topic in quite a while, and this is my new channel, so I'll post on both channels. But as always, I hope you like it. Don't forget to like mine and my friend's Game of Cloud 9's Facebook fan page. I have a website also I'll post a link to. Don't forget to comment. Definitely don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And please, please, please don't forget to share. So as always, this is for you, Tachi, and this is my roommate.
Andrew Moore.
Signing out. Peace.